What do you want out of life is the question. Have you set your goals for 2016 as yet? 2016 is around the corner. Have you taken the time to set your goals? What do you want out of life in your career, financially, relationships, health, fitness, romance, personal growth, fun and recreation? I want you to take some time to reflect with Christmas around the corner, the new year beckoning. What do you want out of life? What is your vision? Where do you see yourself? Think of how quick this year's gone. It's gone rapidly. This year has gone rapidly. Think of how quick next year will go as well. And think, okay, what do I want out of life? It's ironic that we go to school, university, college, and so on and so forth. We don't spend rarely any time on goal setting. Goal setting. Tonight, you're in for a treat. We're going to cover the laser approach. An approach I put together myself, a laser approach to goal setting. So you can focus like a laser and get to where you want to get to. A laser approach. The laser is an acronym I'm going to cover shortly, which you can use to get the best out of yourself. Yeah, that said, you can take time and you can watch this video over and over again and set goals in various areas of your life. Tonight we're going to cover the approach. Beyond this evening, you can set goals in whatever area you want for your life. It's entirely up to you. But if you haven't got your pen and paper, please get your pen and paper. Get a pen and paper now and let's work together on creating a vision. Create the vision. What is your vision for 2016? If you set goals this year and you achieve them, fantastic. Build that momentum into next year. If you haven't set goals this year and you want to start now, great time to start. Do all your goals, put them on one side, enjoy your Christmas, and the new year, bang, hit the ground running and go from there. So you can set goals in various areas of your life. Tonight, I would suggest to set in one area of your life. Choose a goal in your career. Choose a goal financially. Choose a goal health and fitness wise. Friends, family, romance, personal growth, fun, recreation. Choose a goal in one area. But beyond this evening, I would suggest to set goals in every area of your life and live daily. Pursue your goals in every area of your life daily. Otherwise, you're not setting goals in your career, not in your family, and your family life suffers. Or you set goals in your family life and not your career, and your career suffers. It's always good to get a balance and work towards every area of your life to maximize your potential. So I've got a very powerful process we're going to cover tonight. A very powerful process I use in business, in sport, a highest level sport. I've done this with clients, with my patients. We really focus like a laser beam on where they want to go. So I think if you're at A, you want to get to B, is like the postcode in the sat nav. You don't need to know how sat nav works. The analogy is the mind, yet you need to have a postcode and a destination. Without a destination, your sat nav won't get you very far. So if you're a coach, you can use this with your clients. If you're a teacher, you can share it with your students. If you're a parent, you can share it with your children. It's a priceless exercise that's worth the investment and spending time on working out where you are, where you want to be. Goal setting is crucial in life. Not just about the goal, the journey it takes you on. To use an analogy, think of a roundabout, you've got various exits you can go, you choose one exit, you're in one area, one the other. If it's not the right exit, you turn back and you go on another turn off and go from there. You keep working towards where you want to go. So the laser approach we're going to cover tonight is an acronym. Get your pen and paper, let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay, so get your pen and paper. The first thing we do in the acronym laser is list. You list your goal in the positive. What do you want? What are you wanting? Be very specific. Now choose one area of your life, be it career, finance, health, fitness, friends, family, romance, personal growth, fun, recreation. Choose one area. Beyond the seminar, then you can write as much or little as you want in various areas. But for tonight, for simplicity, for the time, choose one area and we'll go from there. But what do you want is the key. So for example, if you're going to choose career, what specifically do you want to do? Do you want to be a coach? How many clients do you want to see a week? What do you want to charge? What is your niche? If you want to do a financial goal, specifically how much money do you want to earn. Health and fitness, it might be weights, you might want to be a certain way. It's very important you put it in the positive. Not very positive, positive what you want. The mind can't process the negative instruction. What I mean by that, if I say don't think of a blue giraffe, the mind will process what I said not to think of. So when you set a goal, for example, for weight, what weight you want to be. Not weight loss, what weight you want to be. 12 stone, 14 stone, size dress, size suit. Be very specific about what you want. Is the partner you want to meet? What values do you want your partner to have? What interests you want to have? What do you want from a partner? What criteria you're looking for? If it's growth, education, what specifically you want to study. The clearer you are, the better. In the L bit of the acronym, what actions can you take to make it happen? Who's the best person to help themselves? You got it, yourself. You are the best person to help yourself, so write down what you can do. What can you do to make it happen? If you want to lose weight, or get in shape, I should say, and be a certain weight size, dress size, suit size, what can you do to make it happen? Hire a personal trainer, join a gym, go walking, nutrition. What can you do to make it happen? Do you know what to do to achieve the goal? If you don't know what to do to achieve a goal, find someone who is achieving the goal you want. So you want to be a public speaker, for example, join a public speaking group and learn from public speakers. Model excellence is key. Find people who do what you're doing and you've got a better chance of succeeding in achieving the goal. The key thing is to list what you want. What do you want? Most people don't know what they want. They're not clear in their mind. The clearer they are, the better. The clearer you are about what you want, the better chance you've got of achieving it. So the L is to be very clear. Now choose an area of your life and write very clearly what you want. The reason for writing it down, the goal, because some people say my goal's in my mind, I want you to do this exercise before we move on and move forward. Every time I blow the whistle, write the first thought that comes into your mind. So get a pen and paper, when I blow the whistle, first thought that comes into your mind, and write it down. And write it down. Write it down. The reason for writing the goal down is that the mind has in and around 60,000 thoughts per day, so they say. Within those thoughts, most of them are useful. It's getting up in the morning, getting changed, driving. There's also some distorted thinking as well, which can be debilitating. But also, there's a lot for the mind to process. So if you've got your goals in your mind, they're not clear. Write them down and put them somewhere you can see them. They're in front of you. Write them down. And why do you think most people don't set goals? Why? Why do you think most people don't set goals? Yes, you got it. The fear of failure. People are afraid. Well, I say better to love and lose than not to love at all. You're better off having a shot and going for it because at least you had a go. Most people don't regret what they've done. They regret what they didn't have a go at. So you don't live a life of regrets. Get to a certain age, think, if only I'd have tried, if only I had a go. And most of the time, if you don't get to the goal, you get to a better place as well. Have you done that before in your life? I'm sure you've done it before, where you set a goal and you might not achieve it. It's only happened to me several occasions. You don't get there, but you go to a better place. And the journey is what counts. So the L is to list positively what you want, which is key. What do I want is crucial in setting the goal. The A in the acronym, LASER, is attainable and achievable. Is your goal attainable? Is it attainable and achievable? Now this is a little bit of a grey area. Where do you draw the line, you're probably thinking? Well, you know in your mind and in your heart of hearts where you are in terms of achievable. You know whether it's attainable. Now what I would say here is that a lot of things are possible. Most things are possible anyway, yet that said and done, it takes one step at a time to get to where you want to get to. Nothing happens overnight. So for example, you've got a goal where you want to be a certain weight, say a certain size, dress or suit, a specific weight you want to be, 12, 14 stone, whatever it is you want to be. Have you been there before? If you've been there before, you know for sure it's achievable. It might be just different circumstances. You might have had a baby, you might have had challenges in life, we all go through phases in life where we go through various phases, but if you've been there before, you've got the map there anyway. Yet, if you haven't been there before, then you're breaking new ground. That's when you find someone who is where you want to be. That said, there are certain goals in certain time frames you've got to weigh it all up. Because if you set a goal, I always think set a goal high, aim big, you can always scale back. Yet, as long as you're not disheartened, and as long as you don't feel through the pursuit of your goal that if it's really, really far away and you've taken that first 2-3 steps, you get disheartened. So really good to have milestones, but you've got to ask yourself, in your heart of hearts, is it achievable? That's not my call, not your coach's call. If you're a coach, not your client's call. What is and what isn't achievable. Through my life, I've been through the odds, working through goals. People have told me things weren't achievable. I had my challenges as a young person growing up. I had very severe asthma, many challenges. I grew up in a family that we didn't have much money. At 14 years of age, when my dad got injured at work and my mum was ill, there was nobody working, and I had to go help to make ends meet working in the factory, and it was quite challenging. I had a dream. My dream was to be an athlete and travel the world, but I had very severe asthma and other conditions related to asthma, anxiety, and it felt like a million miles away. And we've been missing out a lot of school as well, amongst other things. Was it achievable at the time? On paper it might not have been, yet in saying that I would end up travelling the world and participating in a sport as well on a professional basis and living my dream. Yet it probably wasn't attainable at the time, yet through sheer determination it was. And then going forward, my dream was to write books. Now when I first started university, because academically I suffered at school, because I didn't go to school as often as I should have done because of family problems, I didn't even know the alphabet when I first started school, university I should say, yet in saying that, it didn't stop me from writing, and not bragging here, from writing 3 best-selling books, best-selling manual, and about 30 manuals I wrote, okay? And the reason I would go and write it is I had a strong enough desire. Had you have told that to the teachers at school who wanted to do that, they probably would have laughed. At university, I did really, really well. I studied so many courses, so much training, and I was top a lot of the time. I got top grades through my studies, and one of the reasons for that was because I was passionate about what I do. And that's why now I do a lot of talks in schools when I can to tell young people it doesn't matter. Just because you don't do well at school for one reason or the other, you don't write yourself off. At 23, when I first started uni, they called me a mature age student. What would they call me now? And all I'm saying, I'm not saying I've written the best-selling books to brag or to try and make a sales pitch, whatever, because I've got plenty of platform to do that if I really want to. I'm telling you because you've got your own children or you're a teacher, all things are possible if you put your head down and work really hard. And plenty of people have written me off many times, and many of our clients, I've worked in sport, and I've seen many people go on to surpass anyone's expectation, but you know in your heart of heart, you've got to think, okay, of course there are certain things in certain situations. Could you take someone who's never done sprinting before, middle age, and be the fastest sprinter in the world? Well, that's debatable. Genetic comes into it, physiologically comes into it, yet in saying that you can be the best you can be. And that's the key. What I say, success is you being the very best you can be and see what happens. That's been my philosophy in life. Be the best you can be, Jim, and see what happens. And I know if I'm the best I can be, then I've succeeded in my own mind. And that is as much as you can ask anybody else. So that's the A. The third bit is the S. Senses. We process through our senses. And this is a really important one because for the most part people write goals, they use SMART goals, they use GROW, and they're okay. I have nothing against that. I use them myself sometimes. But what I would say, I couldn't imagine a Da Vinci or a Wright brothers or a Walt Disney or a Steve Jobs. I couldn't imagine them sitting down writing SMART goals. Surely they were compelled. Surely they had the vision. And when you see these sports people talk about scoring the winning goal in a final, FA Cup final, or in a big World Cup final, they imagine as a 12-year-old, they saw the crowd, they heard the crowd, they felt it. So this is where it becomes compelling. So whatever your goal is now, I want you to think of what it would feel like emotionally. Think of what it would feel like emotionally to have your goal. All that we want because we think it will make us feel better. So you can feel better now. So I want you now to write down what it would feel like. Write what it would feel like emotionally to have your goal and fully experience the emotion. So if you want to be a certain weight, the size 10, 12, 14, whatever it is, or whatever style you want to be, dress size, suit size, you want the six-pack on beach, or if you want a certain amount financially, or you want whatever it is you're after, romance, whatever, what would it feel like? And fully engage in the feelings and let them spread through every cell of your body. And let the feelings go into your heart and send out a message to the universe that that's what you want. The universe works in mysterious ways. We are energy, we're vibration. And I truly believe that when you're in that zone, you're in that vortex, the right circumstances and the right people come along to help you go from A to B. It's a bit like when you think of someone and then they phone you up, or you see them, or these things happen. We're almost like a radio sending out a frequency when you're tuning it in. It's about being tapped in, tuned in, turned on. Okay, so feel your goal emotionally. What will you see? Imagine having your goal. See yourself like a screen. If you can't visualize, start by visualizing something basic like an apple, your front door, a friend's face, and then visualize yourself seeing yourself have the goal. Okay, visualize yourself hearing any compliments for having your goal, what you'll hear. Really spend time doing this. This is the key. This is what gels the acronym together. Your senses. What will you see? What will you hear? What will you feel? When I wrote this book here, I wrote down specifically I wanted to go to number 1, and the reason why I wanted to go to number 1, I wanted to make an impact. I wanted people to understand what Neuro-Linguistic Programming was all about, NLP. If you know what NLP is, then you can email me, I'll send the details on it, and it meant a lot to me. And I really felt it. People said, Jim, there's no way it's going to get anywhere near that, and so on and so forth, and it did, and so did the others. And it's possible. If I can do it, anyone can do it. If I can write best-selling books, and academically, at school, I was nowhere, and towards the latter part of my schooling, I hardly went to school because of family issues and problems, then anyone can do it. I didn't even know what a noun or a verb was when I finished school. So if I can do it, you can do it, and so can anybody else. It was just for sheer determination. Persistence beats resistance. Not accepting no. No, not accepting it. Going forward. But what I would do, and what I realized in my life, later on, I'd always associate, even young, even as a 14-year-old, what I would do, I'd visualize myself as a 14-year-old competing against the world, doing my sport, around the world, and I'd visualize myself, it was my escapism. When my parents weren't working, Dad was injured at work, and we didn't have much money, and there were times I'd go work in a factory for a bit of extra money, and it was tough, and I had asthma and severe anxiety. There were times I couldn't breathe, I'd go to A&E. There were times I'd just sit back and just imagine flying in planes and travelling the world and doing this and doing that. And little did I realise that I would actually live the dream. It's powerful stuff, very powerful stuff. You're a teacher, you're a parent, it's worth passing it on, the knowledge on. And you don't see these Olympic athletes when they win medals, they say, oh, we just wrote it down. They talk about hearing the anthem playing, the national anthem. They talk about the feeling, the elation of succeeding and being the best you can be. The E is the ecology. The ecology is just jargon for the effects on your life, the consequences of achieving the goal. All has a price. If you were going to start a business for your young family, what do you think would happen? Of course, you'd probably spend less time with young family, but maybe in due course, you send them to a better school, provide more for them. So what I'm saying here, and what's really important with this part of it is that what you do is you are able to process the pros and cons of having a goal. And the question you want to ask yourself is, do you like the idea of doing it, or do you like the doing? When I used to work in professional football, there were plenty of people who used to like the idea of being a footballer, having the house and car and the girlfriend and all that went with it in their mind, not thinking only very few people have that anyway. Yet, did they like training? Did they like rolling their sleeves up and getting stuck in? Did they like all that? Not a lot of people didn't like that. They liked the trappings, but they didn't want to get up in the morning and put the effort in. Do you like the idea of your goal? Do you like the idea of a business? Do you like the idea of being a coach, a therapist? I love being a therapist. I love delivering training. I love working with people. I believe in people. I think it's magic to work with people, and that's why I ended up leaving football, a well-paid job in football, into the unknown, because I love working with people. Even though I didn't make what I was making when I was in football, my passion, what price do you put on living your passion? But the question you want to ask yourself is, what will happen when you achieve your goal? What will happen? Would you take your goal now? How would you feel energetically if you achieved your goal? Out of a 0 to 100, what would you feel with 100 being high? What effect will it have in your life? And the big question is the why. The why. Why do you want it? One of my big goals is to bring in emotional resilience into every school in the UK and beyond. I want to do that. I want emotional resilience as national curriculum. Why do I want that? Because I know as a 14-year-old how tough it was for me growing up and never having any support from any teachers going through what I was going through. They never stopped and asked me. I didn't have food sometimes to take to school. I'd walk to school with shoes that were 2 sizes smaller for me. It was tough, it wasn't easy, and all I would do is put more pressure on me, more pressure on me, more pressure, to the point that when I wasn't turning up at certain times and write notes to my parents and saying I'm not applying myself, they did not take the time to find out what was going on. There were times I thought, I can't handle this no more. A young person should not go through that, and that's my passion. That's why I go into schools. I'm happy to go into schools. I go into schools and talk for nothing. And the reason being is because it's important that we help young people. Young people have got their heart in the right place. We have to, as adults, be the beacon. We have to shine the light and be the beacon. Shine the light rather than moan and be one of those victim adults. You're an adult and you need to shine the light. I'm still going to schools with young people. You can do it. You can be anything you want to be. Just focus and believe in yourself, because life is too short. There's no other you in the world, 7 billion people. There never has been, never will be. This is it. It's showtime. You're not going to live forever. This is it. So I say to you, in terms of goal-wise, weigh up the ecology. What are the advantages of the goal, the disadvantages of the goal? You might think, well, why would you want to do that for? Disadvantage of the goal? Because you need to know it's right for you. There's no point pursuing something if you like the idea of it. You have to want it. There's got to be a strong enough why. Sometimes I get up in the morning at 4 to study, to learn, to travel, to do radio interviews, to do talks across the other side of the country, across the other side of the world, because I've got a strong enough why. What is your why? Why do you want your goal? Do you really want it, or do you just want the idea of it? And that's the key. Ask yourself, do I really want it? What impact will it have on my life, my family's life? They're really important questions you ask yourself, because if you don't want it, what's the point? And I've seen plenty of people, like I said before, in football, when I was working as coach, they really want to be there. No point, you don't want to be there, and that's the key. The why do you want it, but also the ecology. And I know a lot of people who, what they do is they apply themselves to the goal to please somebody else. This is your life. Live it to the best of your ability and live it the way you want to live your life. That's the key. To living your life to the best of your ability, the way you want to live your life is key. The R and the final part of the process is the resources. What resources do you have? Now get your pen and paper and write down all the resources you've got to achieve your goal. What are your resources to achieve your goal? Now you've got loads of resources. You've got phones, you've got the internet, you've got yourself. Write all the resources you've got. You live in a great country. The UK is fantastic. You can be anything you want to be. You can educate yourself. You can be anything you want to be. And no doubt, if you're watching wherever else in the world, you live in great places where, you can be whatever you want to be if you apply yourself and you focus. You don't get caught up in that victim mentality. To just go for it. And if there's anything you need, like a skills gap, write down what you need resource-wise. What resources you need if you don't have them. And go out and seek them. You can't do all things on your own. You cannot do all things on your own. Sometimes you need help. I needed help writing the books. I needed ghostwriters. I needed help improving my grammar. Bearing in mind too, English wasn't my first language. Like, my family migrated to Australia from southern Italy. They were peasants, farmers, and English wasn't my first language. And on top of that, I didn't go to school very often in my teenagers. I needed help. We all need help sometimes. There's nothing wrong with asking for help sometimes. You put your hand up and ask for it sometimes, and that's key. So the key is resources you need. If you haven't got them, go out and find them. Go out and find them. Always be willing to help. If I can help in any way, email me. Email me. If you need any resources, book, whatever you want, email me. I'll send you what I've got to give. That's what life's about. Life is about we're in it together, helping each other. We're not in competition with anybody else. I'm not competing against you, you're not me. You're not competing against each other. You're not competing against your friends on Facebook, on Twitter. You're in this life and you're competing against yourself to be the best you can be. The universe has sent you here for a purpose. The first thing they should tell baby when baby's born is welcome to the universe. Welcome to planet Earth. Because we're all here to take the world forward. Take the earth forward. That's the key with all of it. We should teach young people too in schools empathy, love. Key core values. We should teach them that because they're key values to go forward. So think about what resources you need, which is key. Setting a goal can be really powerful. There's a massive knock-on effect. When I was working on the radio station, BBC Radio, a few years ago, and I worked with a woman who called Margaret. Her name was, she was in the 60s, and her goal was to lose weight, so she said, trying to be a certain weight. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was, probably about 2 stone reduction it was, 2.5 stone. And it all started with that being the goal. Now, if I remember correctly, and I stand quoted on this, the transcript out there, she said initially that she had a thyroid condition. I can't quote on that, it's in the medical record, and I said, are you still willing to help her work towards the goal? I said, well, I'm not medically qualified, but what I would say is that if it's fine by her and it's fine, then we'll have a go. And from what she told me, if I remember correctly, the transcript out there, she said that they said that it was probably going to be hard to lose weight as a condition. And we embarked on the goal. And within a few months of embarking on the goal, she got the weight she wanted to be. As a byproduct of setting the goal, she was born in retirement, she was living on her own, she was struggling, she was doing social avoidance. As a result of setting that goal to be that weight, she got her confidence back, she got life back, she went on a holiday for the first time in years to Spain, enjoyed herself. She went running for the first time, she had arthritic knees, that was amazing. And as well as that, after 56 years of not going in the swimming pool, she went swimming. We did the photo release technique, timeline regression, and for the very first time in 50 something years, she went swimming. And so on and so forth, many things happened. That might not be a big deal for you, swimming, but for her it was, because it meant she could socialise on Tuesday mornings or whenever it was with her friends. And that was all through the result of setting one goal. Just a goal. The transcript out there, I work with many people obviously, but I use that story to show you that whatever age you are, 20, 60, 150, whatever age you are, it is never too late to set a goal. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. That's your autobiography. Take the positives. You might have broke up in a relationship and fell down. You might have lost your job. You might have been struggling with condition not well. Whatever it is you might be going through, I don't know. I've been through my fair share as well of adversity. I said before, as a child, I wanted to be an athlete. It was tough by my early 20s through being an athlete and not getting paid when I first started off and all the like. I ended up homeless for a while, but I never gave up on my dream, and then I got injured being an athlete just when I got to a good level, and my dream then turned to being a coach. I worked in football at a high level professionally as a coach, and I went for it. And in the end, I worked at the highest level in football, delivering some NLP, and I felt that it was time to move on and do something different. And my vision was to work with young people, to inspire young people. And I started working in care home and helping young people. And from there, I thought, I've got something to help. And I started doing some talks in school. And I thought, you know what? I'll start delivering stuff. I was delivering some stuff for staff in care home, CBT. I was delivering NLP for other people. And I thought I'd start the vision, start my own organisation. And I used my background in hypnotherapy, NLP, and all that I studied. And I started delivering courses around the world. That was my vision. All from a young kid from Western Sydney, from a very working class area with nothing, humble beginnings, nothing. You know, to do that, nothing special about me. I tell people in the seminar, but to do that, and I don't say that to brag, I say that to show you what's possible. And having worked with so many people over many, many years, have been written off in sport, in business, in any walk of life, I say it all starts with a vision of believing yourself. And being the best you can be. And what a great time to start setting goals. Now, with Christmas, you can put the goals to one side, eat, drink, be merry, spend time with your family, or spend time reflecting on your own if that's what you want to do. Then in New Year, bang, you hit the ground running, and bang, you go for it. And you give it your best shot. And if you don't achieve your goal, you fall off your horse, you get back up again. Because that's what life's about. You don't always achieve your goal, but I can assure you now, you are where you need to be in life. You are wherever you are now. Sometimes you've got to take some pain. People these days, they don't want to take any more pain. They're afraid of a bit of pain. Pain is part of life. To know happiness is sadness. And that's the key. Take a bit of pain every now and again. You don't get the goal, then you get up and you go again. And that's my philosophy in life. You don't achieve the goal, you get up and you go again. And the goal for me is about the journey, not the illusion. Not this illusion that one day your life is going to magically be great. Because if you can't be happy now, you will never be happy. It's just like buying a new car. You buy a new car, after 2 months, it's like any old car. People chase the illusion. They think that the car, the materialism, the marriage, the kids, and I'm not against that. Great, set goals. I've got, my kids are the most important thing in my world. I'm not against all that stuff. It is important to have that and pursue it, and I'm a big goal setter too. But live in the moment. Don't get caught up in 5 years be better than now, because it won't be. So, to write your gratitude list now. If you've not done it already, write down 5 things you can be grateful for. Being alive, having whatever senses you have, being healthy, having your children, your family. It's not all about materialism. It's about being happy with who you are and what you've got and being happy now. So when I set goals, I don't work on the basis of illusion. You get this goal, your life's going to be imagine better than what it is. Because we know plenty of people who've gone on to achieve great things in the eyes of the world and how we great success, and equally, if not more, unhappy. What I'm saying is do the goal because it's intrinsic to you. It means to you. When I read the books, I did it because I want to reach people. When I got on radio, I did it because I want to reach people and help people overcome challenges and issues. When I go to schools and talk, I do talk because I want to help people become more emotionally resilient and live a better life. I truly believe if we taught young people the ABC model, concept of CBT and NLP, we'd have a more functional, better, confident society, and we'll get there step by step of the way. So what I'm saying is that when you set your goals, I'm not saying that wait for next year to achieve your goal to be happy. Be happy now. Enjoy the journey. When you get your goal, punch the air and say, yes, I've got my goal. I've done it. When this went to number 1, it was fantastic. It took me 2 years to write it. And when I got to number 1, thanks to Dragon Rising, my publishing people, it was phenomenal. We did it. Awesome. But then you don't rest on your laurels and dine on past glory. You go forward and keep going. And keep going. So just to surmise, the L, list what you want in the positive. What can you do to make it happen? What can you do to achieve your goal? That's the L in the acronym. The A is attainable, achievable. Now you know in your heart of hearts whether it's attainable, achievable. Your clients know. You work and you agree, step by step. The S is senses. See, hear, feel. What you see when you got a goal. What will you hear? What will you feel emotionally when you've got your goal? And really, really feel the emotion of having your goal. Feel the emotion of writing that book, being the way you want to be, having that money you want, having that whatever it is that you want out of life, traveling or whatever you want. The E is ecology. Is it what you really want? Do you like the idea of it? Or is it what you want? Do you really want it in your heart of hearts? Is it for you? Do you really want it? The R is your resources. What resources do you have to do it? You are your own best resource. Where there's a will, there's a way. You'll find a way, you'll find an excuse. The resources you've got, what resources do you need? Go out and find resources. Ask people if you need help. Don't be shy to ask people. Get on the phone. Everyone's a human being. Don't put anyone in awe. I don't put no one in awe, but I admire people because I know the things I can do you can't do, and vice versa. So there's no need to put anyone in awe. Find people who are where you want to be. Proximity is power. Your network is your net worth. Really find it and go for it. Then take the first steps. Now write down the first step you're going to take to achieving the goal. It might be an email. It might be sending me an email and asking me for like a template to work with. It's entirely up to you. But what I suggest to do now is to take some time, maybe review the seminar again, write some more goals, take your time, write whatever goal you want. If you want the template, you can email me. I'll send you the template by email. I'm more than happy to do so. But really go for it, because you only live once. It's not a rehearsal. We don't know how long any of us have got on this planet. When you get up in the morning, rise up and see the beautiful in every day. Life can be very challenging. It's not easy. We take hits. It's not easy. Life isn't easy by no stretch of the imagination, but it can also be beautiful and wonderful, a fantastic adventure if we set goals and follow a journey. And we take the good with the bad, we don't stay in the negative, we keep ourselves in the positive, and we keep going forward. When we feel the negative emotion coming on, we let it ride, we write down our thoughts around the emotion, and write down what it means to us, the activation, and how else we can see the situation, and we let it go, because no emotion stays forever. How else can we see it? We deal with it. Sometimes we're all going to feel times where we're down, but for the most part, when you're pursuing your goal, you've got the spring in your step, you're on fire, you're going for it. So I'm sure you enjoyed this evening. Feel free to email me at info@excelwithnlp.com, info@excelwithnlp.com. If you want any more resources, any more DVDs, have a fantastic Christmas and an awesome New Year. Look forward to seeing you at an event soon. Thank you.